I had a subscriber who was asking some questions, which I appreciate, and so rather than try to describe over the comments, I wanted to explain my extended warranty, why I got it, what it covers, etc., etc. As I noted in the very first video that I did of this car, I got an extended warranty on it. Basically what it is because the car was used and it wasn't under a factory warranty at the time that I purchased it, I had, basically two options. Well, actually three options, but the first option was to get no warranty at all. It was a 30-day, dealer warranty, and it would have been pretty much the same as an extended warranty, except it would have only lasted 30 days. Then there was the second option was to get a drivetrain warranty, limited coverage. Basically, I would have to go to that dealer, which I drove almost 2 hours to get this car. I would have to go to that dealer, have all my service done with them, and then if anything were to break, they would fix it, as far as the motor, the basic things of your drivetrain. And then the third option, which I decided to pay more for, was the actual extended warranty, which is the same as a GM factory warranty. It's the 100,000 mile warranty. It's not the bumper to bumper warranty. This is the drivetrain warranty that GM offers all their new cars now. Basically, it's that warranty, except for it's for higher mileage vehicles and used vehicles. For me, it's 3 years, 36 months, or I think it's 36,000 miles, whichever comes first, which I've probably put about, I don't know, maybe 1,500 miles on my car since I got it back in November, so I'm not worried about that. But the main reason that I got the warranty was specifically because of the transmissions. The transmissions in these things, they suck. Now, the 4T65E is a good transmission by itself, and they mated that with the 200 horsepower Series 3 naturally aspirated V6, as well as the Series 2, I believe, and down. So it's a reliable transmission when you're pushing 200 horsepower. Well, they beefed it up for the supercharged V6, either the 240 Series 2 or the 260 Series 3, and that right there is sufficient. Well, unfortunately, they put the same transmission behind the big V8. Now, I'd been reading the forums earlier that they did, extra beef up a couple of things when mated to the V8, but for the most part, it just breaks that much easier. Mainly the torque. So the torque management system that they've got on the stock setup tries to curb that. But over time, when you've been beating on your car, or you've been taking it to the track, or you've had it in tap shift, and you're messing around, over time things just wear out, they fail. And unfortunately, the transmission that's in these just doesn't hold up to that much abuse. It just doesn't. There's no question about it. So on average, between 80 and 120,000 miles, these transmissions like to give out slowly. They don't just break unless you're going down the drag strip. They just slowly like to misbehave until the point where they're no longer functional, and you start losing gears, and from there it's just havoc. So I knew this ahead of time because I was on the GrandPrixForums.net website, the forums basically, there was, when I was looking at getting one of these, I was reading a lot about the transmission, and a lot of people complaining about their transmission failures, and it's kind of like a joke now that if you get one of these, expect to replace the transmission every 100,000 miles. As funny as that sounds, it's actually turned out to be true. And some people were hoping that GM would put out a recall or something, a service bulletin, whatever, but that never ever happened. So, in other words, once you hit the 100,000 miles, if you have that extended warranty, then look at, spending a couple grand to have a rebuilt transmission put in, or if you do it yourself, you can save some money. But the point is that the transmission is the weak link in these cars. And I knew this going into the purchase, and I wanted a warranty that was going to cover the transmission if it did fail. And a lot of these service contracts that you get by third parties, they will say things like engine, transmission, air conditioning. They'll be real basic, and then when it comes down to it, when you get to the nitty-gritty, they'll say things like does not cover solenoid failure, or does not cover what they call normal wear and tear, which, essentially speaking, everything's normal wear and tear. I don't care what part it is on the car, the seats, the radio. I mean, I'm having problems with my radio display. Things just wear out, and their way around it is to basically say, well, the transmission failure, the slow failure, is normal wear and tear. We're not covering it. So I wanted to make sure that my service contract was going to cover any failure whatsoever, no matter what. And I read through my contract. It was 5 long pages. I was sitting at the dealer. The guy who sold me the car, he was going to tell me anything he could to get me to sign on the bottom line. And I know this. And, they're out to make money. And, they're not going to indulge you with all these extra details. So I wanted to make sure that my warranty was going to cover anything that went wrong with the transmission, anything at all. It was going to cover it. And that's why, I bought the warranty. And I read through all 5 pages, and I looked through the specific parts. I looked at what was not covered, and then I looked at what was covered. Pretty much everything in the motor is covered. And believe it or not, even alternators. I couldn't believe it when I read that. It specifically said alternator failure will replace alternator. That's crazy. So, it's essentially the GM warranty that a third party has decided to, endorse. It was $2,500 for that warranty. That right there is a bargain. Some of you are probably thinking, oh my God, that's expensive for 3 years. It's a bargain considering that when my transmission fails, and it's never been replaced or repaired or whatever, when my transmission fails, I can expect a price tag from General Motors of at least that much money, probably more. We're looking at probably $3,500 with parts and labor to get the transmission replaced. Even serviced. Let's just say that it's a small part that's going bad, one of the solenoids or whatever. That stuff is expensive, and I don't have anybody I know who can work on transmissions. I don't have the money, essentially, to pay somebody to work on my transmission. And I don't have a place to work on that transmission. So basically, I paid for the convenience of being able to drop my car off at the dealer, have them do all the work, and it cost me $100 per visit. That's a deductible. So if anything goes wrong with my car, as far as the valve train, I keep saying valve train, as far as the drivetrain is concerned, transmission, engine, it's covered. My air conditioning is covered. Water pump, they don't cover what they call, what their version of normal wear and tear is, like brakes, belts, headlights, things like that. I mean, they don't cover any of that kind of stuff, but the problem that I'm having with my crank pulley, that is hopefully covered. The dealer's been closed all weekend. I just noticed it on Saturday, and Memorial Day is today, so they're closed. But I got to call my warranty company and make sure that in fact the crank pulley is covered, because the crank pulley is a pain in the butt to change. I don't have the tools to do it. I don't have the time. I don't have the space. So I'm hoping that because it's part of the balancer, that it's going to be covered. And if not, then I'm kind of screwed. But we'll cross that bridge when it comes time. But So anyway, that's why I got that warranty. I got it specifically to cover mainly the transmission. And fortunately, there's enough dollar balance. They will basically put as much money into my car as what I bought it for. So, I have over $10,000 of warranty service available, basically. Some of the warranty companies out there give you this really tiny limit. Sometimes it's just double what you paid for the warranty. Other times it's triple. And fortunately, for me, I've got well over $10,000 that I can throw at the warranty, so I don't have to worry. If the motor blows up, that's an $8,000 to $10,000 job right there, and it's covered. So, yeah, I mean, that basically really describes the warranty. And if any of you out there who are watching this video are thinking about getting one of these cars, it's obviously going to be used. And even if it doesn't have close to 100,000 miles, let's say it has 60,000 miles on it, get the damn warranty, the extended version of the warranty. A lot of times you can set up contracts where if you're still under the GM powertrain warranty and you pay extra, you can have a third party extend that warranty even further. So I highly recommend, because unless you pussyfoot all day when you're driving and you just don't put any effort or throttle into it, the transmission is going to it's going to bust. That's all there is to it. And if you're the type who likes to modify, and that's another thing about my warranty, which it's unfortunate. I can do things like replace my mufflers, but as far as modifications to the car, as long as I'm under warranty, which is really ridiculous. This is one of the things that most warranty companies do. Anything that I modify to this car, they could claim that that was the reason why the part failed. Let's say I put on a cold air intake. The warranty company could say that with that extra airflow and that extra power going to the transmission, that's what broke it. Even though common sense says that it just wore out over time. To them, that's their way of getting out of it. So, unfortunately, until my warranty expires, my car has to stay stock. Mufflers, that's a different thing. I can replace the mufflers. I already called about that. The exhaust system is not covered under the warranty. And replacing a couple of mufflers isn't exactly going to suddenly make this thing jump like a rocket. So I'm safe there. I can replace the mufflers. I talked about 50 series Delta Flows and getting those, put on, but it comes down to money actually for those. For a muffler shop, just to cut off the stock mufflers and to put the flow meshes on, you're looking at about $150 for the labor, and then it's about $120 per muffler times 2. So I'm looking at close to $500 for just a couple mufflers put on, and I don't have the tools or the know-how to be able to change those out myself. So, but anyway, so there are some limitations to any warranty. Just make sure you know what you're getting into. Don't let the dealer, whoever you work with, they may be a nice guy, got a family, honest Christian, all this, that, and the other thing, but at the end of the day, they're making money off of you, and what they sell you, that's more money in their pocket. They sell warranties, and they get a certain percentage of that warranty sold. That's why they push the warranties so much. I mean, right when I walked in and sat down at the desk, there were pamphlets all over the place for this extended warranty deal that they had. And a lot of times when they, throw those things in your face, it's too good to be true, and that's why I made sure I looked at my contract, and it turned out to be a good deal. What's funny is I don't think the warranty company has any idea what fails in these cars. I think they just hope that, you'll reach your limit and they're free and clear. But these particular cars here have weak transmissions, and I don't think they realize that, and I'm sure that if they did, they would have tacked on a premium, but the warranty is based on the purchase price and market value of that vehicle. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's it for the warranty. It's good to have. It's good insurance. It's great that I can take it to any authorized repair shop or a dealer, a General Motors, Pontiac dealer, but it's a General Motors dealer. And basically just drop the car off, have them diagnose it, pay them $100, and done. Just as easy as that. I mean, that is well worth the $2,000 that I paid for the warranty, especially when it comes to things like replacing a transmission. I see the guys on the forums who have the tools, who have the know-how, who have the time, the space, and I would love to be one of those guys who can just yank the motor out, yank the transmission out. I would love to be able to work on that kind of stuff, but I just don't have the tools, knowledge, time. So, someday when, wife gets a better job or she gets a job, then maybe I'll be able to do that kind of stuff, but for now, it's not going to happen. But anyway, enough blabbering. This video's gone on forever. So, yeah, that was pretty much it for the warranty. Hopefully that answers your questions.